Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. This used to be the world's smallest quadcopter, but not anymore. Introducing the Ultra Mini D1 Pocket Quadcopter. Now if you look at this little thing, I'm going to put this little CX-10 away, which used to be the world's smallest. If you look at this little quadcopter, it is very tiny. It comes in a case, carrying case that you can take with you anywhere. Just carry it in your pocket and launch it just about anywhere. It's very tiny. I did some indoor flying with this last night. It's an extremely stable flyer indoors, but I want to see how it does well outdoors. It has 3 modes on it: beginner, expert, and headless mode also, which you activate by pressing down on the throttle stick. And it also does flips by pressing down on the flip stick. Now when it enters flips, it does what frequent flyer RC calls cheater flips. It flies upward first and then does the flip to prevent crashing to the ground. But let's go into it and just see how this little quadcopter performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Now one thing about this little quadcopter, its gyros initialize and what's the term? Calibrate each time it's turned on. So you want a flat, level surface when you do initially turn this on and bind it to the transmitter. Otherwise, you're going to get a big drift on this quadcopter. But there we go. Now let's take it out into the field. This is beginner rate. Very, very stable. Very, very slow. Anybody could just about fly this. See what I mean? This is a great, great indoor flyer. I was flying this last night around lamps, under the coffee table. Very easy to do, very reactive to controls. I mean, you can make very tiny figure eights with this. Okay, now let's go into expert. Now again, the range on this thing is advertised at 20 meters. This is the max yaw rate in expert. Not very fast. Again, this is more of a beginner's quadcopter. Now let's do flips. See what I mean by cheater flips? As frequent flyer RC calls them. It climbs and then flips. Very nice flyer. Now let's test out its range. They say 20 meters. I'm at 20 meters right now. Still got control. Let's bring it back in again. Let's go a little farther. Let's see until it drops. Oh, that's 30 meters, 40 meters. So it's got more range than what it's advertised. Let's send it out all the way then. Oh, it's flipping, because I don't know why that was flipping. I wasn't pressing down on the flip button, was I? Maybe I was. Okay. That was 20 meters, about there. Are you still flyable? Let's find that. There you go. Now this has a headless mode. And I'm flying in headless mode right now. That was the base heading that I set when I took off. The yaw rate, though, in the base headless mode is very slow. It's beginner's yaw rate. But it's working. Right, left, back, forward, while I'm doing pirouettes. So, yes, the headless mode on this works. I'm going back to beginner, expert. But a nice little flyer. Now, comparing this to the FQ777, that's more of a nimble, much more nimble flyer than this. Again, this is for beginners. It's for indoor flying. One thing I really like about it is the feel of the controller. The controller feels like a controller. The FQ77 controller feels boxy in your hands. This one, on the other hand, does not. It's a nice little flyer. Perfect for beginners. I said it again. If you're thinking of a first quadcopter and you don't have a lot of space to fly in and you want something you can take anywhere, this is perfect. Nice little flyer. Other comparison to the FQ77, this does not have a charging cable like the FQ77 has, so you can't recharge in the field, but it is it is very maneuverable in terms of turning space. It's one of the does the sharpest turns I've seen in most quadcopters. If you can see here, this is an expert mode, keep in mind. Okay, let's go to beginner's mode. The turns are a little bit slower, or a lot slower, but they're still tight. Bring it close. Nice little, tiny little quadcopter. I guess this is probably the world's smallest, again, like I had mentioned. I don't know of any other smaller quadcopter than this. Is it anybody out there can prove me wrong on that statement in terms of commercially available quadcopters? It has a nice flight time. I'm still going. I'll fly it until it dies. Okay, no more flipping, so I guess the battery's getting low on it. Doesn't want to flip anymore. But nice little quad. I believe it's $17, and there goes the battery. So that's the flight time you get out of it. Again, this is the Ultra Mini D1. Turn it off and turn the quadcopter off. And this is its carrying case. I didn't show you that in detail yet, but you press that in and you plop it in there. Little jewel case for it. Move its antennas out, or its props out of the way, and close it up and throw it back in your pocket. Great little quadcopter. Okay, again, this is the Ultra Mini D1, and this is Quadcopter 101. Hope you enjoyed this flight. It was a nice little quadcopter. Quadcopter 101, signing out.